StoryCounty.News and the voice of college football here. We are live outside Jack Trice Stadium. You see behind us, this is kind of the southwest corner of the end zone. And so what we're going to do here, we did lower our resolution just a bit. We have some interference, most likely with the many signals that are going out in and out of here, out of this parking lot and across this entire part of campus. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of walk throughout tailgaters and we can talk their thoughts on this game. Of course, if you are listening right now, the voice of college football with Mark Rogers, we are thankful for that. We are appreciative of that. We do want to thank everyone who made this possible. First of all, Mark Rogers himself, voice of college football, and his main channel. Of course, check out Mark's many different channels, so many different post games for so many different teams throughout the season, including Iowa postgame of the voice of college football. So go over to Mark's Iowa channel, subscribe, and of course after the game today and after every game for Iowa this season, you'll be able to see myself and Coach Don Patterson, former offensive coordinator at Iowa. Coach Don Patterson, oh, you are, man. We're Coach Don Patterson will break down the game and talk a little bit about this game and how Iowa performs. We kind of got a little dead spot here, John. The tailgaters have not showed up yet right here in this area. They are packed into other parts. John, go ahead and pan around. Give our viewers an idea where we're at. You'll see the game day set to your left, John. There's the college game day set. You see confetti blowing. I mean, it's a party over there. If you didn't catch our streams from earlier today, the Iowa State students came out in Eager this morning, and we've got some fans over here. Let's make our way over to this tailgate party. We got some, this is a split, as I should say, household friends base. What we got here?
Bob, he's missed 4 home games since 1972.
Now, what were the 4 games, Bob?
New Mexico in 1973. My brother got married, selfish kid.
Why would you do that? Does he not understand priorities?
No, he doesn't. It was being very narcissistic of him to do that. And then I had 2 other weddings, and these brides, they don't get it. They just can't get it. You don't get married on football weekends.
Selfish.
Yes, and then there was another game. I was coaching football in high school at that time. We got rained out on Friday night, and I had to miss a game. And I think it was Oklahoma back in 1980.
Were you the head coach?
I was.
So you're saying the team couldn't have played without you on the sidelines?
Exactly right.
All right, so we've got a couple. You're obviously a big Iowa State, but you allow some Iowa fans in your. Is this your tailgate? Who's actually? Oh, this is your tailgate.
Oh yeah.
All right, so why do you allow the intrusive Iowa fans to be a part of this?
I'm a lifelong Cyclone converter. I'm a religious fanatic when it comes to Cyclone football, and I'm always trying to make new converts to the Iowa State way, and that's how and the only way to do it is to get them in here and work on them.
Well, I'll tell you, Iowa State's wearing all black. You got some black Iowa, so they don't need much to transfer over.
This kid here, he's my nephew, and I don't.
Okay.
I haven't missed an Iowa State game since I've been born. This would be my
I
27th.
I pulled out a picture of him when he was a baby, and him and his dad, and he was in my arms when he was a baby, and I was sitting over here in the stadium.
Old.
So I'm assuming your mom did not go into labor during a game because
I was 5 months old.
you were 5 months old. Okay.
The mom had enough sense to plan it not to be born during.
C-section, right? Was it a C-section?
Yeah.
Scheduled?
Well, it might have been, an early birth too, but just get it spit out and let's get on with it. We got some priorities here.
All right, so you've been to how many different Cyhawk games? Is this the biggest Cyhawk game in your lifetime?
I think the one 2 years ago was big, but when that 5-year streak was broken, I took his older brother. That was back when Dustin Navy, and that's when Iowa State broke that 15-game losing streak. His neck field, and I took Hunter and coached, but and that was, to me, breaking that 15-game losing streak was probably the biggest. It was over at Iowa City that year. McCarney was coaching.
Oh, yeah. So, there's so many different connections with this game between the two teams. Obviously, just besides the fact that they're in-state rivals, you think about Caitlin Clark's brother is on the roster, right? I mean, that's a storyline, and an Ames High guy at defensive end for Iowa. So I'm Iowa State guy. What do you see as keys for this? See Brock versus Goodson. There's so many matchups to watch for, but what do you see as keys to this today?
The running game, both sides. I think if Iowa State, they didn't turn Brees Hall loose last week. This is the slowest output. They got to get
vanilla.
Very vanilla. And I don't know if they were holding back, but they've been doing that for several years. They start so damn slow here.
Well, I'll just tell you this. I'm an Iowa guy, born and raised, so I'm sorry to all our Story County listeners. I am an Iowa guy, but I'm also a Story County and Ames person. So, but I'll tell you this, that 2019, I remember that game vividly. Of course, I'm sure you do with the rain delays and just that mess. Iowa State I shouldn't say got away, but they were able to take advantage of Iowa's young cornerbacks in that game. I remember a kind of a trick play to, is it LaMichael Petway, the big receiver for Iowa State? And then, of course, a bomb to Tariq Milton in that game. So I think playing vanilla week one seems to play in. It seems like Matt Campbell's always got one or two up his sleeve.
They'll get it juiced up here, and I expect this to be a game probably going to go down to the last 2-3 minutes. One way or the other. I don't see anything else. I hope. I'm pretty sure Kohler will be playing today. I think they held him out for just precautions, but they didn't use their tight ends at all. One catch last week, that'll be a game changer too. When you got great tight ends, Chase Allen and Kohler, that'll be a big difference maker, getting them involved in the game.
And not to be tooting the horn for Iowa, but Iowa has a really good tight end in Sam Laporta. So you've got a lot of good tight ends, a lot of good backs. Quarterback position is going to be interesting. Can Petrus keep up with Purdy? So good to meet you guys, and regardless of who wins, great turnout today, and good to meet you guys. So, all right. Yep, take care, guys. We'll continue down the pathway and see if we can get in touch with some other. It's great to get the stories, John, of the Story County people, or even the non-Story County people who are here for tailgating today, and of course the big game. All right. All right, we're going to make our way. As you can see, ESPN Game Day. Straight ahead of us, we've got a big crowd of people. We are not able to live stream facing Game Day. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our cameras pointed in the direction of our walkway, because we are going to walk and find more tailgaters. But again, stay with us, because along with College Game Day, we are streaming here all morning. First College Game Day available on ESPN. As I mentioned before we began our last conversation with Bob and his tailgating crew, Iowa postgame at the Voice of College Football. If you're a Hawkeye fan or a Cyclone fan or any fan of Iowa's opponents this season, tune in to the Voice of College Football, Iowa at the Voice of College Football, for a live postgame with, again, former offensive coordinator Don Patterson. He'll join us live as well. And, of course, Mark Rogers' many other channels of the Voice of College Football. So many different postgames and so much content. Mark Rogers doing a terrific job. I want to thank StoryCounty.News, our sidekick today, StoryCounty.News, and Voice of College Football teaming up for this exclusive live stream from around Jack Trice Stadium in Ames and lead up to the Cy-Hawk game. We also want to thank, from the Hawkeye of the Storm, of course, our own personal Hawkeye platform, and don't forget the Johnny O Show, our cameraman and our behind-the-scenes video technician, John Orgias. Check out his stuff over at the Johnny O Show on YouTube, on Facebook. You can check out his website as well. And, of course, you can follow, if you are local, if you're in Ames or Story County, you can follow StoryCounty.News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go to StoryCounty.News for the latest from around the county. Making our way to Lot S3 here at Jack Trice Stadium. And we're getting into kind of the thicker tailgating crowd over here. And, of course, we're still early. What, this is like, is it 10 o'clock yet, John? 9:08. So we got a long, long ways to kickoff. We got, what, 6.5 hours. And yet the people have come out here in earnest. This is wonderful to see. Of course, we want everyone to be safe with COVID, but thankfully this is all happening outdoors. And we are just happy to see fans back. People yelling "Go Hawks" here. I can't disagree, but we are trying to be as unbiased as we can here. We'll come over here to the Hawkeye crowd. All right. All right, we got a Hawkeye crowd over here. Who wants to tell us what they think of the game today?
Hawks all the way.
Hawks all the way. Who's the big performer today? Purdy, Petrus, Goodson.
Petrus.
So he's going to handle the crowd okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice kid. Very mature. Little. All right, so Iowa State. You're already on camera. Don't worry. Okay. Iowa State today. Your thoughts on the big game? Thoughts on Petrus? Thoughts on Purdy? Where does this matchup fall for you?
I love the guys. Yep. Hawks.
Go Spencer and go Cody in 73. Woohoo!
All right. So, did you say you were dating one of these?
Yep.
You're okay. So you're dating.
Tyler Shaw, 64.
And he's not playing today.
Yes, he's not playing.
How's he doing? How's his recovery?
Good. Should be back next week.
Should be back next week. You heard it here. Voice of College Football. Kyler Schott will be back next week. Kirk Ferentz, he might not be happy with this. That's good. That's good news, though. And yeah, and I would say if he needs an extra week, they probably can afford it next week.
Yes, we have the depth finally in the O-line this year, whereas 2 years ago when he broke it, we didn't quite have it, so.
Well, did you guys know each other prior to your relationship? Because that would be a weird coincidence. You start dating two starting guards for Iowa. So he's got to stay healthy. I mean, this line is relying on him and Tyler Linderbaum to anchor things.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Foot massages after every game at home.
All right. Well, it was good to meet you guys, and we'll hold you.
There's a future lineman over there.
Okay, let's talk to the future lineman here. What's your name, young fella?
What's your name? Oliver. Tell him your name. He's a little embarrassed.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, he's got a spokesman here, so let's talk to you for a minute. So you were an Iowa State fan. We just talked to a bunch of Iowa fans. We talked to a couple young ladies who are in relationships with a couple of the Iowa linemen.
We met him over here.
Okay. So your keys to the game today, who's your big performer? Is it going to be Purdy? Is it going to be Hall? What do you see today?
Hall, we got Kohler back, so we're just doing our best. So.
How big can Kohler be today? I mean, he not playing last week hurt Iowa State.
But I think it's going to make a difference, get double coverage off of Hall. So we're out for a victory, right?
And this young man's name is Oliver.
Oliver.
And he's a future lineman. And I'm assuming he's going to pick Iowa State. I mean, it looks like we've got some NCAA infractions because he's already got all this gear. So
The build, too.
he's got the build. So, all right. It's too early in the day. You know, it is early. People think we've been out here since like 5 a.m., but it's still only like 10 o'clock.
I know it's crazy.
You guys start early.
Oh, yeah.
I admire it.
But this is a great game, so we're excited. We're hoping for a victory.
Great moment for college football.
Absolutely. 2 ranked teams in the state of Iowa. It's awesome.
Great for the state of Iowa. Good to meet you. Thank you so much.
Go Cy.
All right. All right, so we'll continue to make our way around. We don't want to seem biased here. We'll take a left here, John. We don't want to seem biased here. We want to get opinions from both sides. But that was interesting to talk to the girlfriend of Kyler Schott. So I've never reported on anything, John, about a player's injury status based on what his girlfriend told us at a tailgate. But we just got an update on Kyler Schott. It sounds like he's going to be back next week. So for anybody who was wondering, it looks like Kyler Schott will be back. And Cody Ince, as we talked to his girlfriend, he's a big part of this offensive line. One of the, you can call him veterans. He's a young guy, but he's still a veteran with a lot of younger guys. Connor Colby, David Davidkov, Michael Mislinski, so many different guys. Got some good well wishes here, so walking down the line of the Iowa State tailgaters. This is an impressive scene. They know how to do it right in all of Iowa, but certainly in Ames as well. Hey. All right, turn the camera around here. We got Mr. Jeff May is here, holding a Coors Light. I love it. I love it.
How's it going?
Hey, you're in Ames, man. This is foreign territory. Are you? I don't know you. Are you a Cyhawk game guy? Or you typically go to Iowa State games?
This is my second time. I went a couple years ago. So, yep, it was a good time, especially since, Iowa won.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. We've been talking with some of the tailgaters here this morning. Keys to this game, I mean, can Petrus hold up against a tough crowd? He's never played in front of an opposing crowd, and this last week was the first time in front of any crowd.
I think as long as he doesn't make any mistakes like he did last week, the defense I think it's going to pull us through really well. Special teams, I think Goodson is just going to have a good day. He's going to have 150 yards, and he's going to have a good day.
150 yards.
Yep. They're going to let him run loose.
All right, well, he's going to have to do it a little bit more consistently. Of course, last week, the 56-yard run, but I think only 5 other yards in that game. So, but good to see you, Jeff. Jeff's a good friend of ours, and kind of we've had lots. All right.
Tough crowd.
This is enjoyable. Good to see you, Jeff. All right, go Hawks, right? All right, or go Clones, whatever you prefer. We got lots of excited fans this morning. That's great. Again, I keep saying that, but it is great to see because, of course, last year we didn't get to see fans out here. So, and I think, John, I want to make something clear. People see these shirts of ours, and I think they believe, let's get out the pathway here. I think people believe that these are Hawkeye shirts. They're not. These are our StoryCounty.News shirts. So I want to make that clear. And we got someone else asking, what's that? Did you want to say something? Oh, we've got some bashful Iowa State. We've been talking to a lot of Iowa fans. We need someone to speak for Iowa State. What you got to say this morning? Excited for the game? What you got in the tailgate today? You got brats. I see a crock pot. What you got in the crock pot this morning? All right. Anything else meat-wise? Meat-wise, you got meat here? Hamburgers.
Hot dogs. What else? Chips.
Typical. Hey, I love the energy, guys. Keep up the good energy. We need it, right? We need it in Iowa. So, all right. Take care. Enjoy the game. All right. I know, but I don't think it. All right. John, we haven't even scratched the surface of the tailgaters at this game right now. So, yep, we're going to do a quick audio check. We'll check our live chat right now. For anybody in the live chat who is watching us, yep, we're going to check through our YouTube channel. And, of course, again, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to The Voice of College Football and Iowa at The Voice of College Football.
Like right now.
All right, so we're just checking a couple technical things here, folks. We are wanting to make sure that our stream is working well. The signal here, we've, of course, we have a lot of equipment. Our cameraman, John, has equipment strapped to him at all different angles, and so we're just making sure that we're good to go. Looks like we are. And again, we apologize if the stream is not the highest of quality. We are trying to do the best we can. As anybody, and of course College Game Day even made the media aware of that yesterday, that live streaming during their show can even throw their signal off. So we are, looks like we're good to go. And we're going to continue to walk across the entire landscape of Jack Trice Stadium, around the stadium and in the tailgating areas. So we'll continue down the pathway here. Again, if you're listening and you are wondering when the game is, it's at 3:30 p.m. Central Time on ABC. 3:30 p.m. Central Time, Iowa and Iowa State. Of course, a top 10 matchup, 9 versus 10 on ABC. Should be a great, great game. And win or lose, we'll be talking about it afterwards, the voice of college football. So